All right, in this video we're going to continue with the flanges, and our approach is going to be like this. Just studying the drawing here for the dimensions, we can determine the location or the position here for a mid-plane. We can set it back from the face, and if we develop both flanges basically as one feature, then we could just mirror. So what I'm looking at here is we'll create a mid-plane, then we'll offset a plane so that we could use this profile for the base extrusion. Then using the diameter dimension here, we'll be able to create the boss of 0.125. On that face, we'll be able to create the hole through. And then we'll use a plane, again, centered on that hole in the top view, and we'll be able to position a sketch in order to create the weep hole, right? So about 5 or 6 different features. Finally, we'll just mirror the entire flange. So why don't we start with our base here, okay? And if we study the profile, we can see that we've got basically a rectangular area that is centered on the top face of this main extrusion, and then it's set back 0.563 from the face and about 0.25 thick. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so to start, we can use any of the faces to create our sketches. So if I simply select this face and using the pop-up palette, I'm going to create a new sketch. Now, you can also see using the design tree here that I can make myself normal to that sketch plane, right? You might prefer this, or you might just work in isometric view or any 3D view, but your UCS for your plane is already set. So then now I can just sketch. I'm going to start with the sketch, just a simple rectangular sketch, and then I'll use Smart Dimension to constrain the geometry. So first off, I know that I'm 0.563 from the face. So if I select those edges there and then place my dimension, I'll set that to 0.563. Now to size it correctly, and I've got to center it, right? So to size it, I said we have a length of 225, and then we have a width of 2. Okay, so you can see it's not centered, right? Now we could do this a couple ways. We can find the center of our sketch here, or we could just, I don't know, put a dimension here to the side and figure out how much we need to make it equal on either side. So in order to maintain the design intent, I think what we need to do here is we need to use the origin as part of our reference geometry. Okay. Now one way we could do that is if I get normal to my sketch, all right, and we could visualize here the origin. What we could do is using a center line, let's track from the origin, right? You can see the other reference lines there. We can track from the origin and just establish a horizontal construction line. And you can see with your tooltips, right, if it's horizontal or not. Now with that reference line there, what we could do is now use a Smart Dimension from one of the edges, since we've already constrained the overall size. What's not constrained is position. So now if I check one of the sides and then the reference edge here, then this could be set as the half distance, right, which is going to be 0.5. Or no, sorry, 1. Okay, sorry, that should be 1. There we go. So now we know that that's centered, and it follows that it'll maintain the same design intent that we had for the base. So that's a good way to set it up. Now we can switch over to feature, and then we could extrude it. Switching to an isometric view, I can see now more easily what direction it's going. You can use your design tree properties here to adjust that. We can go in a blind direction, and I believe here we're at 0.25. Okay, so there's that. Now again, if we take a look at our drawing, all right, we don't want to do any of these fillets just yet. All of that is going to be at the very end. All right, so now what we're going to look at is establishing the mid plane right here. Then we'll be able to create the offset plane, and then working with this profile, build the extrude and cut features. Okay?